Wasn't gonna start on this Harley today, Sunday morning, because I've been working like 6 days a week and I wanted a day off today, but I'm out in my garage, so I'm gonna tinker away with it. So what I just put the exhaust back on here. Just fasten the mount bolts loosely. Socket. Need a bigger wrench. Ratchet. Not much holding these exhausts on, just one bolt here, a pinch bolt up there, that's it. Ready to put the push rods back in and the rockers. And I could put the rocker boxes on, bolt them all up, torque them all up, and then put the push rods in. I'd have to adjust the adjusters right down all the way to slide the push rod in. So I've got it at top dead center on compression right now, and I'm going to put them in there at the same time, put the rocker box in, and they're probably going to be out because the valve's been cut down, but they're going to be pretty close. So once I get them all in there, I'll readjust them. So I'm going to clean these all up first and get back to you. The gasket kit comes with cork, push rod seals, Not a big fan of them. That's what the kit comes with, and the old rubber seals were, a couple of them weren't too bad, but then these little ones here were pretty grody. Push one. Okay, so that's ready to go. Need the gasket. That. Just want to get the bolts in there loose first. Oh yeah, I gotta put these two in first. I gotta put these two bolts in first before I slide that rocker box on there. I'll never get it in there. This one. That's the problem with doing this thing a couple weeks later. Put this one in. We put the center 4 in. That frickin' dog barking away. Even this back corner one, back left-hand corner, I gotta get it started first too. I'll push the head over a little bit. There we go. Had that dog's nuts cut off 2 weeks ago, and he's still just as hyper as can be. But at least he's not jumping everyone. $300 later. Just want to get these bolts started in the gasket so I don't crush the gasket. Come on. What the fuck? Let me go over on the other side. This one here I'm just doing this from memory, but I'm pretty sure this one is the horn stud. So let me get that one started. I'm pretty sure. I gotta go back and check, but come on, I can't get one mother started even. Okay, that one's started. That one started. That one started. Okay, that one started. Okay, they're all started, so the rocker box is loose. That fucking thing's sharp. This stainless steel braided pushrod here is sharper than fuck. Anyways, I should put a rag over that. I've cut myself like 3 times on that thing. Really sharp. Got a new cork O-ring in here, new cork O-ring in there. This is the intake pushrod that I have marked. Put a new cork gasket in here. And now I'll see if I can get this in here. That. One. I got, yeah, cork in here, okay. Push it in the top. There may be better ways to do this, I don't know, because I haven't done it in so long. Put that there. There we go. Okay. I don't know if you can see that or not, but those are both located in the adjusting spots. Put this in the dead center. Yeah, those are both in their dead center. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread the oil line on at the same time, so I don't have to bend it in there. You can kind of slide the O-ring up a little bit. Get that in there. Let's get it finger tight. Finger tight there, finger tight there. Okay, now I'm ready to torque that rocker box in there. Snug it up. Yeah, did I show you my beer fridge? Got some beer in there today. Only drink one today. Okay, right here. Sometimes two. Okay. So the rocker box is torqued at between 18 and 22 foot-pounds. Okay, let me get this all ready, and I'll torque it down. I'll put both heads on, or both the rockers on. I'm going to torque them all at the same time. Just snugging them all up first. And I'm not going to be able to get my torque wrench on the center ones, obviously. Snug these up. But there's a trick to do that. I showed it in the Norton video. With a wrench. 6-inch wrench. Snugging them all up right now. There's two down in here. So what you do, this isn't a 6-inch wrench, I do have one, but you I forgot how I did it. I had a bit that fit into here. And so now I've added 33% more leverage. If this is a 12-inch torque wrench, and if I put a 6-inch wrench on it, that's 33% more, right? I got 18 inches altogether. So then I reduce the torque by 33% to torque these. But I'm going to torque all the ones that I can, and snug the others up tight, and I should get it pretty close. Like, you know, I've been doing it for so many years that you get a feel for when it's torqued there. Just snugging them up for now. Extension. Get my short 1/2 inch. If you get the short and extension, you can get it in around the frame on some of them. I got my torque wrench set to 22. That's it right there. cheap one on the front one is the stud. And this one. Yeah, the ones that you torque, you can go put a wrench on it and just feel how much leverage it takes just to budge it a little bit, you know, and that's going to be pretty close to the other ones. You know, it's cheating a little bit here. I'm cheating because I got to get this done. But turning it enough years, you get a feel for it. Snug these ones up. Slip. Not like the Norton, you can't get a ratchet on it. Supposed to crisscross back and forth here. Work your way up to it. So for the front head, you can get a torque wrench on all of them, but these two I probably could if I had a mid-size bit there. This is where you want a 6-point wrench. Okay. Boxes are on and torque. I'm going to get it all assembled back together, and then I'll reset the valves or the push rods. I just want to get it all back together, all the pieces back on this bike, and then I'll adjust the push rods. I wouldn't mind turning it over a couple times too, crank a little bit, But I'll start to get all the brackets on here. I'm trying to remember how it all goes. I'm bad for this. I don't take notes, or I should. I got my video, but my video doesn't show it. I know this was in here somewhere, so I've never seen one before. I know that was up in this, like that. That's where that was. Pretty sure. Okay. Let me start on the other side here. That's how that goes. I know this goes up on there. Clutch cable goes on here. Like that. Lock washer. Lock washer, none on that one. There's 2 bolts that go up there. Like that. Coils. The coil goes like that. These 2 bolts here hold the horn bracket in, and these 2 studs here hold this stabilizer brace in. Also holds in that vacuum switch for the ignition. One of the last years for that model. That goes there, that goes there. I got a squirrel chewing on the side of my house there. Okay, so that's that there. Get that squirrel. Hope it's not digging a hole into my garage. What the fuck? What is this? Yeah, I think that goes underneath. Shoot. Okay, let me work on this for a minute. I have to turn my video camera on. I've been plugging away at this thing. I just put the carb boots on, put the carb in. I know this. This is like it's a vacuum part of the ignition module, assists in the ignition module. I think just for on startup, but I know it goes in here, but it doesn't fit on top. And underneath it touches the carbs. I gotta go look at my old video to see how that goes on there. I thought it went like that. This doesn't go like this. I don't know, I gotta go look at the video to see how that thing goes on there. Goes on like shit anyway. I should have showed how you put the carbs on here. You leave one boot and clamp on the carburetor and one boot and clamp on the cylinder. Doesn't matter which one. I put a little bit of WD-40 on it and it just kind of pushed it in there and it snaps right in. I know that thing was sitting right there, but geez, it doesn't fit very good. Yeah, I gotta go look at the video, or I'll look at the manual, maybe it's in the manual. But we're getting close here. Things are starting to line up. The bolt for the coils is the fuel tank bolt. So that's where that goes. Oil lines are tight. Got a new gasket for the carburetor. Yeah, I gotta go look, see how that thing goes. I'll get back to you. This vacuum assist switch here bolts to the carburetor. I thought it bolted to that bolt in the frame, so I can put that back in, and it bolts to this top bolt of the carburetor. It's been apart too long. Nice to hear this thing fire up. So I can tighten this up. Okay. And this. There's a ground wire on it, and it'll go, that's where I'll put that through this frame bolt here. Get up there. Okay. I didn't want to address this right now, but I'm going to have to. This is the, I think it's the positive display. Where am I going here? Yeah, this is the positive terminal, and somebody's taped it up with a plastic bag, put zip ties on it so it wouldn't get oily. So I might have to fix this oil leak here, if I can find it. I was hoping to get it running first, and well, this isn't the positive wire, but this is the wires. Whoop. Oh my God. I thought this, I keep stepping on the camera, I thought this was the positive cable, but it looks like it's the rectifier wire? I don't know. Somebody's, looks like a switch wire. Oh, here's the positive wire here. That was over there. I need to clean this all off first before I'm going to see where it's going to leak. I'm going to get it running, then degrease this, and see where this leak is. If it's an oil line, I got to pull the tank off, but I'm going to clean it all up first. I'll get it running. Okay, I got the choke cable on. I got to put the return. Throttle cable on. They call it something different. So let me lower the bike down, take this off, put that cable on. I can put the airbox on. Oh, I got to set the valves too. I'm just going to put the battery. I'm going to put the battery back in to crank it over a few times so I can make sure I get the clearance right. This battery cover, maybe it will fit on this one. I didn't think it did, but just one second. These old steel covers here, you slide it on. You know, they don't touch the terminals, but man, they're damn close. So I glue a piece of rubber in here. I don't know if there was one originally or not. Jeez, this thing is stiff. Anyways, I'm just going to use some contact cement in here. And this one. I cut a piece of rubber. I've got a bunch of this old rubber laying around. That battery's already so tight to the frame there, I worry about it rubbing, but this will at least let that set up. Yeah, I just got a chunk of rubber I cut it out of, and let that set up. Clamp the battery in. I gotta find the clamp. I've been looking for that everywhere. I know it's here. And then I can crank this over to set the valves. Because right now it's a top dead center right now, but these valves are tight. I can't turn the push rods. You want it so you can just turn the push rods and have a little bit of free play, just a little click to it. And not very much. So I want to crank it over once or twice and then check these valves. I'll wait for that glue to set up, clamp the battery in, and I'm off to the races. Took this cover off just to get out the nuts on the battery cover a little better. Okay, that battery's in there good and secure. It's got a rubber protection thing on it. Got hydro. Haven't changed the oil and filter on it yet either. But I just want to crank it over. Check the push rods. I think it's in neutral. I think I had it in neutral light's staying on anyway. Okay. Neutral, and I'll crank it over. Okay. Let's see here. We got power. This one's spinning free. That one's about perfect there. It spins free. There's virtually no up and down play. Spin it over a couple times. Check to see if that's stopped it. Yep. That one should be partway down. Okay, 2 7/16 wrenches. I got it top dead center. The exhaust side, I would say, is perfect. The intake side's tight. This fucking thing's sharper than hell. This damn thing here, I need an elastic band on that. I put it into first gear and just turn the engine over slowly there until I got it to what do I got here? Half inch. Oh, I thought they were both up 16s. Just the top one. Oh. it's on there tight. I don't know if somebody Loctited that thing in there or what, but that thing was tight. Okay, I loosened the lock nut off. I'm going to turn the adjuster down. And there we go, I got some free play there now. So I'm just going to turn it until it gets tight. Yeah, I can feel it gets snug right there. Back at quarter turn. Sometimes if you tighten up the lower nut there, it'll tighten it, so you may have to compensate. Yeah, it's a little snug. As you tighten it, the lock nut, it tightens up the push rod, so you got to leave it a little loose, and then when you tighten it, it tightens up. So when you turn it quarter of a turn tighter. Snug it for now. That feels pretty good. That's good. Okay. Those two are done. I'm a dummy. Make sure you watch all my videos to the end, because I always, find my mistakes along the way. I put all those push rod covers on the wrong way. So it was a waste of time. And I got the rear two set and adjusted, and I got them flipped over, so I'm just doing these two here. So I've got to, this is the hard one because it's got the stud in the way. Turn the pinch nut all the way up, and then turn the push rod down. Dummy, dummy, dummy. Now the other thing is, those cork gaskets are junk. No freaking way you're gonna get those cork gaskets in there. Not you might get one in there and two rubbers, but you know where you're gonna get 3 new rubbers in there, 3 new cork gaskets in there. That's how thick they are. Where's my O-rings? One second. This is how thick they are compared to the O-rings. There's no, I couldn't compress the spring enough to get these in here. Maybe if I soaked them in oil for a while. I couldn't get them in there, so I'm cleaning up the old O-rings. I got some new O-rings out of my O-ring kit. I'll put in there, and then they go in a lot easier. That's an easy change down the road if it becomes an issue. Okay, let me find some more O-rings here. I gotta finish this video up for today. I can't get the last push rod in because I stripped this nut here. It was on there so tight that I rounded off the corners trying to get loose. I actually had to hit it with a chisel to break it free. And you know, I got good wrenches too. My wrenches are all snap-on wrenches, but couldn't break that one free, so I'll order a new nut or go to the local Harley dealer this week and get a new nut and put that one in and put the breather on and should be able to put the tank on, fire this thing up. So that should be the next video. The next video should be this thing firing up. I'm going to run it a little bit, and then I'll change the oil and filter. And when I got the oil out, I think I'll pop the tank off and see if I can get at those oil lines and change them. I'm pretty sure that's where all the oil's leaking from down here, and you can see it's all taped up and clamped up down there. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the issue. Okay, that's it for this weekend. Try to finish it up next weekend. Cheers.